Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your SmackDown review. Before we begin, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm very thankful for the 6,000 subscribers that you guys have given to me just recently, and we're almost already up to 6,100 subscribers, which I'm very thankful for. I'm thankful that everybody this year that contributed on Patreon, no matter if it was $1, some people did upwards of like $30 even. I really appreciate that to all the Patreon people, Paul A, and November, everybody on there who's contributed. I'm so thankful for you guys. And let's get into the SmackDown review. Let's do what's helped me achieve all these subscribers. So let's get right into it. We started off with Charlotte cutting a promo, and this is the thing right here. They're not very good with heel turns nowadays. When everybody says, "Oh, I can't wait till somebody turns heel," and everything. Now with Ambrose, they're handling a little bit better. But after on Raw, oh, everybody smells. I'm just. It doesn't matter anymore. This is what I'm saying to people about, Roman Reigns turning heel, John Cena turning heel. It would not have mattered. Would it have been a bit better maybe if those people turned heel? Maybe. But look at the explanation. Let's ask a simple question here. Why did Charlotte beat down Ronda Rousey and stomp a chair into Ronda Rousey's throat? And I also want to make a little extra comment here, because I didn't even really think about this about my Raw review until I posted it already. How the hell did Ronda Rousey come out the night after she had her throat stomped with a chair around it? How the hell did she manage to speak is what I want to say. How did she manage to talk after she got her throat stomped by a chair? Shouldn't she, if she had larynx damage, wouldn't she be unable to talk to cut a promo? But anyway, let's ask the question. Why did Charlotte do that? She said that she's been fighting against Becky for, months. She did it for all the women in the locker room. Okay, so why did you do it exactly? Why would you did that for the locker room? You did that for all the baby faces too that you stomped on her throat. I don't know how to take this. I watched this promo and I'm like, that's not a good explanation. Did Ronda maybe do something that really pissed her off, or something there that would make Charlotte angry? It's like, no, she just did it because she felt it was, the right thing to do. And they always do this. They always do this with every single heel turn, whether it's Randy Orton, you name it. Every single time someone has to explain their actions, they can never explain them. Honestly, it's like they don't think about what they're having these people say, because this is not spur of the moment. This is not shooting from the hip. No, this is scripted right here, and they don't know what to tell these people to say. So it's damage control time. Send out the Iconics to cut another horrible promo. They come out and it's just first Paige comes out. She fines Charlotte $100,000 for attacking the referees. And, so the Iconics then come out, and this just keeps steamrolling. And now it's time to have a match with the Iconics. Billie Kay is up first. So Charlotte is destroying Billie Kay. Billie Kay is such a horrible fucking worker. Her and Peyton Royce by far are two of the worst wrestlers bar none on the fucking roster. Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT, you name it. Billie Kay, like when she takes a bump, especially after Charlotte hit her with the natural selection, her face didn't go anywhere near the mat. Also, so many little clunky exchanges, and the thing is, the match was only like 2 minutes, and it was unbearable to watch. It was like the same thing with Peyton Royce. These girls miss their cues, their timing is off, they don't sell, they don't bump properly. I mean, you know, if there's one thing I could say about this roster, even the people that I don't really care for, like Finn Balor and Sami Zayn, at least they know how to take a bump. They take the move and it looks like they're reacting to it accordingly. They don't sell, but, you know, that's bumping and selling are two different things. So up next is, you know, Charlotte demands that Peyton Royce get in the ring. Peyton gets in there. Billie Kay interferes like a few minutes into the match. And then they just have the Iconics beat up on Charlotte. And, you know, okay, Charlotte ended up turning the tide on them. But I didn't like this. Because first of all, it was goofballish to the umpteenth degree. The Iconics go to get a chair from the timekeepers there. So they have their backs turned. The timekeeper, like, won't give them the chair. I've never seen that before. And then they just kind of give up on the chair. Then they turn around and Charlotte gives them the double spear. She beats them up a bit more. Then stands on top of the announce table. And, you know, she's getting cheered. So it's like, so they do heel turns now so the crowd can cheer them. This company is complete fucked. I mean, you got the crowd cheering heels. You've got them booing baby faces. Do they not look at this and say, hold on a second here. Something is totally off. Something is not right here. This is completely wrong. We're not getting the desired reaction. And there's only so many times that they could coast along with that, oh, you know, any reaction is a good reaction. That's very true. That works to a degree. But when it's every single wrestler on your roster is not getting the desired reaction that you intended, that you planned for, then you have some big fucking issues there. That's, I mean, that is, there's no perspective. Like, you put her out there, Charlotte, she cuts this promo, and people end up cheering her. For whatever reason now, because now it's time to start booing Ronda Rousey for whatever reason. And, you know, I could say, like, okay, they don't like Ronda for the smiling and everything like that. Okay, so, like, this promo didn't make sense, so we're going to cheer for Charlotte based off of that. So it's like there's no good reason to give here for any type of reaction. It's just basically the crowd's just a bunch of renegades because you're putting out a shitty show. It's going to attract the lowest common denominator, and it is. And this is what you're getting. This is the result. And I would not have had the Iconics have the advantage on Charlotte at any point. This is a good time. When you made her a face, you completely made a mockery out of her. All that momentum she had on Raw when she went over the SmackDown, they kept calling her the Queen, but she was not looking like the Queen. You know, losing to Carmella, losing to Becky, you know, it was just a runaway train. You know, everybody kept on, you know, beating her and everything. And Charlotte once had this great record where nobody beat her on pay-per-view. And then they threw that out the window because, God forbid, anybody maintain any sort of record or momentum in this company of any sort. Up next, you had this segment where it was like, what the fuck were they thinking here? So, Shane is giving the state of the state, whatever the hell that means, on Miz TV. And the Miz is like kissing Shane's ass. And they never even bothered to explain why he's been doing this. Why he wanted Shane on the team so bad. How he wants Shane to give the motivational speech at Survivor Series backstage. And Miz is asking him, not for a title opportunity, but he wants to form a tag team with Shane. So, he brings out two jobbers, Shane doesn't want to get in the ring with him. He finally like agrees to have the tag match. He doesn't want to get in the ring. And The Miz just ends up getting pinned by one of these jobbers. I'm not even kidding. He turns around to talk to Shane. He turns back around. And this guy who's like maybe 5'3", maybe 120 pounds, fucking rolls him up with a small package and pins The Miz. I mean, like, how the hell is anyone supposed to respond to this? What is the response? Like, are we supposed to find this funny? Are we supposed to be engaged by this storyline? Okay, so nothing was addressed about how SmackDown lost as bad as they did. The simple fact that they lost, 6-0. That's not a concern. What did they talk about? Shane was put over by The Miz for, being the sole survivor. And what he did is he said, we were the last two in there. So he was like, trying to take credit for it. And I'm just like sitting here saying, like, SmackDown got their asses handed to them. They buried their own show. For whatever reason, they buried it 6 feet under. They made sure this is a predetermined results, right? So they made sure that Raw beat the pants off them, beat the shit out of them. So it was quite clear that it was 6-0. And I know people say, "Oh, was SmackDown won the pre-show?" Okay, does it really matter at this point? They're still been buried, whether they won some fucking tag team match or not. On the pre-show, the kickoff show, wouldn't want to call it a pre-show. I guess that's one of the banned terms for WWE. So what was accomplished here? So we got a team with Shane and The Miz. Shane gets to make a bunch of facial expressions. The Miz gets pinned. Nothing is really explained. What are going to be the repercussions? I mean, would have been a way better way of going about this. Shane gets pissed off that SmackDown gets beat so badly. He comes out and says heads are going to roll. He should make like a bunch of matches and stuff. Put stakes on it. Say if certain guys lose, they're going to get fired. Have Shane go heel. That was the rumor anyway, but that didn't happen. Instead, it's like, oh, everything is fine. And well, Shane seemed perfectly laid back here. He didn't seem too worried. The fact that his own show, was full with a bunch of losers that lost every fucking match they had. No, there was no repercussions. No, nothing. Let me ask you a question. I understand that this is wrestling and everything like that, but, imagine your boss. Everyone is putting in a poor performance. The company's losing money. No one's coming to work on time. People are calling out every day. And productivity is at an all-time low. So, your boss is going to get pissed off. He's going to start writing people up. He's going to start firing people. He's going to start giving people, coachings and stuff like that. On this show, nope, it's all fine. So what happened to the Shane McMahon prior to Crown Jewel? If you guys cost us the World Cup, then, you're going to be fired. Now, they lost the whole fucking pay-per-view, a Survivor Series, no less, a Big Four pay-per-view, made Shane look like an inferior show, and, he's all fine and well with that. The boss is hunky-dory with his show looking like a piece of shit. Logic? Sense? Does it make any? No, it's just, that's how it is, basically. This is the show for you. This is the reaction. This is how they wrote the show. Keep in mind, Shane McMahon is a McMahon. And, it should be in his character to get angry when, the wrestlers are not acting accordingly. They're not following his directions, which were to win So you know, he apparently he's fine with that. You know, people could lose. The Miz is losing to jobbers. That's fine. You know, just move on to the next segment. Basically, make a bunch of facial expressions while you're at it, though. Then up next, it's the the mandatory holiday match that they have to have. It's Thanksgiving. Xavier Woods cuts a promo. Talks about he's thankful for his 2 terabyte hard drive so he doesn't have to delete Spider-Man to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm in no mood for jokes on this show, as you could fucking tell, but I thought that, well, that was pretty funny because I was just ranting about that in another video, Fallout 76 rant that I did. It's saying, and that's very, very fucking true. Just recently I had to delete some stuff off of my hard drive, which is just fucking unspeakable. But that's a topic for another video, for another day, when we talk about hard drive space. But but this also goes to show that it's like they have no priorities on this show. They're just fucking phoning it in. I mean, just after the last segment, how are you not going to follow that up? Anyway, I'll do it more in my closing thoughts. So they have a holiday match. It's the Big Show in the bar against New Day, and New Day wins here. Of course, why not? Bash Cesaro on the head with a turkey, and that's good enough for a pinfall victory. Then after the match, they start pelting Cesaro with pies and shit. Wow. So, can I ask a question? How was it during the Attitude Era and into the Ruthless Aggression Era? You know, they would have food fights and stuff, but somehow it felt way more adult. It was the way it was presented. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that, they didn't look like the New Day with all the colorful outfits, and they didn't make it as retarded. Because they would fill it in with other jokes. There'd be like sexual innuendos, and there'd be other things going on the show to, kind of reassure you that you're not watching a children's show. That, this is a show that's in prime time. So, but here it's just like, oh, food fight. It's so funny, right? It's so funny in 2018 to hit somebody in the face with a fucking pie. Just as funny as it was, when they did it with Doink the Clown. How could anybody still find that shit to be funny in any way possible? I mean, you're hitting somebody in the face with a fucking pie. In 2018, all the things that are happening in the world, are we really going to sit back on a Tuesday night and laugh at somebody getting hit in the face with a pie? That might have been funny when TV was new and it was Bozo the Clown. But this ain't Bozo the Clown. This is SmackDown in the year 2018. Where kids are looking at porn on their cell phones when they're 12 years old. I mean, does anybody, put this into perspective? Like, what kind of world we're living in? That, and this is supposed to be a show that's presented after 8 p.m. at night. This is a primetime show where they're saying swear words on TV. They're not even bleeping out the shit or anything like that anymore. They're not even bleeping out swear words anymore. And we're here watching a show on a Tuesday night where, they're just giving us fucking prepubescent humor. First, it's PP jokes. And of course, Sheamus got that in too. He had to make sure he acknowledged the fact that they lost at Survivor Series. Oh, I couldn't prepare for somebody urinating on themselves. Oh, you got to make sure you don't let us forget that. So, we've had a food fight, pie in the face, PP jokes. I mean, this is high class entertainment here. Where else are you gonna find this type of entertainment? Then you got Asuka and Naomi defeating Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So for some reason, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are like kind of pissed off at each other. You know, Mandy Rose wasn't getting along with Sonya, but, you know, instead of, like, Sonya Deville, like, so let me explain this spot. So it's like, Asuka goes charging towards Mandy Rose. So Sonya could just like fucking kick this girl in the head, right, with her MMA background shit. No, so instead what she does is she pushes Mandy out of the way, steps in front of her, and just takes the fucking bump. Like, they do this. There are certain spots now that they do in WWE that they repeat 1,000 fucking times over and over. And I'll tell you exactly what they are. Throwing people over the desk. Charlotte made sure she did that tonight to 2 different people. Throwing people into the timekeepers area. They do that like 10 times a month. People running others through the barricade. They keep doing that. That used to be a special spot. They continuously do that. While you're at it, you know, I just mentioned stepping in front of somebody and acting as a human shield. They do that a fucking 1,000 times. Not about moves, but a cliche that they keep doing. The fake out promo by the heel when they act remorseful and then they start laughing and saying that they're proud of what they did. There's certain things that they keep doing. And they just don't stop. They keep repeating it. Almost like they forgot that they did it, but there's no possible way. It's just like a trope for them. It's something that they keep coming back to. It's something that they're known for. So, you know, Deville ends up getting pinned by Asuka, you know, and that's it. You know, that's the end of your match right there. So what was accomplished here? So, you know, Deville's angry at Mandy, so she's gonna save her in the process. And you know, we just had like Women's Evolution. You know, it's a big pay-per-view event. You know, we've come a long way in women's wrestling, and then they give us shit like this, which is just pure fucking garbage. Daniel Bryan comes out to cut a promo, and this was the highlight of the show. Daniel Bryan did a good job here. And this promo, well, it made a good amount of sense for what it was. Why he chose to, like, turn heel, like 8 months after he returned is beyond me. But, okay, so now it's a little bit late, but I guess better late than never. So, Daniel Bryan cuts a promo. He said when he was in the hyperbolic chamber trying to recover, he said, you know, he started to think a lot when he was by himself, you know, about how people had forgotten him, they abandoned him, and, you know, he said that he had to fight for his own dreams. He said the Yes Movement is dead. He says, you know, these idiots are cheering for AJ Styles, and, you know, this went over pretty well. I enjoyed it, at least. The Charlotte promo, that was pretty garbage. But this made more sense. It would make more sense that Daniel Bryan would talk about how, you know, he was gone for 2 years. People didn't really care about him anymore. All he had to do was kind of care about himself. He was forgotten about. His facial expressions was really good. The way he kept looking down and laughing to himself. He also mentioned that, you know, he wanted Brock Lesnar. He wanted Brock Lesnar to beat the shit out of him, so, you know, he could, you know, something like he could beat like the good guy out of him or something like that. And that was like a little interesting take. So maybe he was playing a little bit of possum. Maybe it explains a little bit in the match why he was getting obliterated in the beginning. Didn't look like that, but, you know, whatever. It was a little interesting, little, so some of this seemed a little bit too good for the writing team. So I think maybe Daniel Bryan might have helped write this promo a little bit, but I liked it. I thought that on a shit show like this, and this show was fucking awful, this was pretty good. And I liked Bryan's expressions, and this was maybe the best promo he's cut since he's been in WWE, to be quite honest with you. Then in the main event, it was Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. Orton, that was a nice RKO when Rey slid out of the ring. He went for the splash, but then Orton caught him with the RKO on the outside. Then he took a chair, put her, you know, he ripped off the mask. He started ripping it off. Then he took a chair, put it around his neck, and rammed Rey into the steel post. See, the only issue I have with this is that they just did that spot with Rousey and Charlotte. And Charlotte just mentioned that spot during the promo. Why would you do almost the same exact spot so soon? Not even wait 2 days to repeat it. Don't you want that like spot to feel special? Don't you want it to kind of feel a bit unique? Like, it's not every match that you have people wrapping chairs around people's necks. I mean, like, they couldn't think to have Orton maybe do something else. TLC's coming up. How about doing something with a ladder? Just something a little bit different. With a table, maybe. Something different with the chair? No. Do almost an identical spot. Okay. Whatever. Then he ends up ripping the rest of Rey's mask off. And, you know, it just ends after that. I mean, okay. So, you know, you got some heat on Orton. He attacked Rey. I guess they're going to enter into a feud now. Probably a match for TLC. Okay, so, first of all, let's just recap. Charlotte's promo was a bunch of nonsense. That shit made no sense. How the fuck are they not going to follow up on Shane McMahon when everybody lost at Survivor Series? You're going to just basically have them sit there during a match on the ring apron making facial expressions, and they're not going to, like, bother to fill up, tell you, you know, how he feels about Survivor Series losing 6-0. I don't get it. But good promo by Daniel Bryan. Anyway, guys, that's your show, basically. What a week for WWE. Braun Strowman, by the way, is injured. I'll probably be making another video on injuries, especially now. Now, Braun Strowman is going to have to go in for a surgery on the elbow. So that's why they didn't show him for the rest of Raw. So that kind of makes a bit more sense. But, I mean, and now there's more information about Alexa Bliss coming out. She might retire, it seems like. So that's to come. I hope you guys are looking forward to those videos when I comment on them. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please hit a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit a thumbs down and tell me that I suck. Anyway, subscribe, hit the bell so you get all the notifications when I post my new videos. Check out some of the other videos I have posted here. And thank you for watching, guys. This has been your YWC champ, and I'm signing out.